In this video, I'm going to go over the reflections practice problems that you did and make sure you understand the big ideas here and how to approach these problems. So I noticed on your GeoGebra assignments that you didn't answer the question very clearly about how you determine if the image has been reflected across the X or the Y axis. And so what you should have noticed is that if I reflect across the X axis, then that means that the Y value is multiplied by -1. The X value does not change. And it's opposite when I reflect across the Y axis, then my X value is multiplied by -1. So that's what you should have gotten from that. If you didn't, you need to make sure you make a note of that. So let's take a look at some of these examples. So let's just start with number 2. It says reflection across the X axis. Okay, so this is the X axis here. That means that my Y value is going to be opposite. My X value is going to stay the same. So my A prime is going to be 4, -3. It's as simple as that. My D prime is going to be 1, -5. My M prime is going to be -1, -5. And my W prime is going to be -1, -4. And so you just plot those points. 4, -3. There's A. D would be right here. M is here, and W is here. Remember that a reflection is an isometry, which means those are congruent figures. Now, in number 1, we're reflecting it across Y equals -2. The line Y equals -2 is right here. And so remember that the line of reflection is the perpendicular bisector between the pre-image and the image, and specifically each of their points. And so if the point is on the line of reflection, it stays where it is, so I does not move. E is going to come here, so that's going to be E prime. I think that is a K down there, I'm not too sure. It's going to be right here because this is 3 away, 1, 2, 3 from the line of reflection, so this needs to be 3 away here. And then this one would be right here. And so again, this is our new image, or our image. We just call it the image. This is the pre-image is the original, and the image is what is created new. And so that's how you do that. Down here, we have to write a rule to describe each transformation. So we need to identify where is the perpendicular bisector of the pre-image and the image. And so looking at number 8, it's kind of obvious because you see that they overlap. And so this must be the line of reflection. And if I were to draw a line or a segment between U and U prime, okay, that's the pink purplish line there. The slope of that pink purplish line is 1, and the slope of the line of reflection is -1. Okay, those are perpendicular slopes. And also, this point is the bisector of U and U prime. And so that's how you know that that is the line of reflection. So looking at number 7, I look at F and F prime, and I want to figure out, okay, where's the line of reflection? Well, it's got to be perpendicular bisector between those two. Well, the line created by F and F prime is a vertical line, which has an undefined slope. The perpendicular slope to undefined is a 0 slope. And where is the middle of F and F prime? It's right here. So that means the line of reflection is this horizontal line. And so you really just need to kind of pick 2 points. You don't need to look at it as a whole. So you want to kind of break down the image into its points, and that will help you. And so let's look at number 10. If I look just at P and P prime, okay, which is here and here, I want to find the perpendicular bisector. If I were to draw a line between P and P prime, it would be a line with a slope of 0. Therefore, the perpendicular slope needs to be undefined, and the middle of those 2 points is right here. So my line of reflection is X equals -3. So that's what these are asking you for. It's asking for the actual line of reflection. So I'm not going to tell you what each of those lines are. I've kind of helped you with a couple of them. But you need to be able to write equations of lines. These are very simple lines. Remember, if it is a slope of 0, then the equation will be y equals the y-intercept. If it's an undefined slope, it will be x equals the x-intercept. And If it is a line with a slope that's not 0 or not undefined, then you need to find the slope and the y-intercept, and that's how you will determine the line of reflection. So please make sure you understand, again, what happens when you reflect across the x or y axis. I also, in the last video that you watched, I talked about what happens when you reflect across y equals x. And so you have got to understand those concepts in order to be able to be successful on your quiz and on the future tests. So please make sure you've taken note of that and that you've even practiced it. You can use GeoGebra to practice graphing things and reflecting them over certain lines, and you'll start to see the patterns for yourself.